students and teachers. A warm welcome to all the participants from Principal All India Khilafat Committee College of Education, Dr. Sultana Khan. During time of crisis such as COVID-19 pandemic and several lockdowns, offline teaching and face-to-face teaching and assessment became very difficult. The teachers and students were very comfortable and trained in the offline mode of interaction. The solution to this problem is online or e-teaching and e-assessment. Online teaching is a mode of teaching where neither student nor teachers need to go to school. They can sit comfortably at home and do teaching and assessment of student performance. The difficulty is that neither the teachers are trained with the online mode nor the students are familiar with this mode of interaction. Since the circumstances are such, the only solution is online teaching and assessment. Then let's not get discouraged. Let's begin with a very positive attitude. The history has proved that the teachers were always been fighters. They have solution for each and every problem, and they help the community and society at large to resolve problems, and whatever is the magnitude of the problem, they fought like warriors. Let us see this COVID-19 pandemic as a quintessential adaptive and transformative challenge. Therefore, the overall objective of this course, transformation of learning and assessment in COVID-19 era, to facilitate the rapid design process and implementation of adaptive responses to the emerging educational challenges and to protect young people's educational opportunities during and following the pandemic. That's why we are providing access to expert faculty, best practices, and other online learning and teaching resources for teachers and would-be teachers of tomorrow. In this webinar, our faculty shares best practices for creation of animated e-content and how to develop e-assessment tools. They will specifically discuss topics around teaching online, including paradigm shift, innovative pedagogical practices, skills for digital teachers, dealing with digital learners, developing animated e-content and e-assessment tools. Before we give you an idea of creating e-content and e-assessment tool, let us see what is an e-content or digital content. As we all know that the new policy of education in 1986 has emphasized the application of education technology to improve the quality of education. It is an electronic content that includes text, images, graphics, animation, audio and video, etc. Let us see what is the definition of e-content. It is a digitized content which is viewed on screen, on computer and not on paper, and which is produced, created and stored electronically. Today we are living in a world where nothing is constant. It is a world of change and adaptation. As a result, we are facing different kinds of students. Good digital assessment tools like Google Forms, Edmodo, Kahoot, Quillinox, etc. lead the way in helping us do this as teachers. Let us see what is an e-assessment. Now, the definition of e-assessment is, it is an end-to-end electronic assessment process where information communication technology is used for presentation of assessment activity and the recording of responses. It virtually covers all aspects of assessment, like where the computer develops tasks, deliver tasks, collect responses, mark them, and return results to students and teachers. There are 2 days kept for the course. On the first day, that is today, we will orient you all to the first sub-theme, Paradigm Shift in Learning and Assessment, which will be done by Dr. Sarama Mathew, an associate professor in AIKC College of Education, and who has around 25 years of teaching experience in AIKC College of Education, and till today she is a English method master. The second sub-theme of today will be on innovative pedagogical practices, which will be done by Dr. Shahraz PV, an associate professor in AIKC College of Education. She has around 20 years of teaching experience in my college, and she's working till today as a science method master. Then the third interactive session on creation of animated e-content, which will be done by Dr. Niaz Ahmad, who is an assistant professor in AIKC College of Education. He has around 20 years of teaching experience in my B.Ed college, and he is still today working as a science and mathematics method master. Now, the second day begins with the orientation on the skills required for digital teachers, which will be done by Dr. Nasreen Sheikh, who is an assistant professor in AIKC College of Education, and who has around 25 years of teaching experience in AIKC College of Education, and she's working till today as a history and Urdu method master. Now, this lecture will be followed by a lecture on dealing with digital learners, which will be done by Mrs. Rizwana Khan, who is a lecturer in AIKC College of Education and who has around 15 years of teaching experience in AIKC College of Education. She is till today working as a Urdu and history method master. Last but not the least, an interactive session on development of e-assessment tools will be taken up by Dr. Nafisa Sheikh, an assistant professor in AIKC College of Education, and who has 20 years of teaching experience as a commerce and economic method master. Wishing you all a very successful completion of course. All the best. Stay home, stay safe, take good care of yourself. Thank you very, very much. Now I hand over the session to wishing you all a very successful completion of course. All the best. Stay home, stay safe, take good care of yourself. Thank you.
Is it visible now? Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Okay, it's visible now. So I was not aware of this actually, Okay, so we were talking about the synergy that is there built into the class. And now we are going to look at how we can develop this synergy. Now we all know that the one thing that we have in our hand is technology. And this technology is the elephant in the room now. Because without this technology, at present in this situation, we cannot do anything. But we also now know that it is something very big. We are not used to it. We don't know how to deal with it. Sometimes we are also very apprehensive. See, I was not able to on my PowerPoint. Again, technology issues. So we don't know how to deal with it. But we also know that technology is a mild animal if we can tame it. And we can definitely make our teaching a much better thing. So the question is how to tame this elephant. Now that, of course, needs practice. But as teachers, as ma'am said, we are warriors. Definitely we will do it. Okay. Now this was another question that I asked. What technology have you used in your classroom before the lockdown? Now compared to the previous questions, the responses that I got over here were very little. That's understandable. Again, use of laptop, maybe a mobile phone. In fact, as I mentioned earlier, mobile phone was something that we would not have actually allowed in the class. But today, all these things are used. But it's not only the laptop or the mobile phone that we are going to use. We also need to use the kind of applications that is there. So it's a hardware plus the software that is there. So today a number of applications are available and definitely we can use this in our classroom. Okay, now as teachers, we all know that change is the only constant thing for us. Our syllabus keeps on changing, our textbooks keep on changing. There are so many things that is changing. But one very important thing that has changed for us in the past was from a chalk and talk classroom, we transformed into a constructive classroom. Now, this was not with its fair share of bumps and bruises. We had a lot of challenges at that time. So from a classroom which was totally controlled by the teacher, where the teacher was at the center and the students were mere listeners, we moved on to a student-centered classroom where students were involved in the learning and teacher acted as a guide and students discovered their learning. Now comes another shift or a transition, or we could say a paradigm shift from a physical classroom to a virtual classroom. Now, this physical classroom to a virtual classroom has had its fair share of challenges. So, what are the challenges of an interactive class in a physical classroom? And what would be the challenges of an interactive class when it is a virtual classroom? Now, these are the questions that are going to that we are going to face today. But it is not without its solutions. And at the end of the presentation, I will tell you a small thing which I have done. So today, a lot of platforms are available for us. In fact, now we are using one such platform. There are also applications that is available, which can be used by the teachers. Of course, teachers do need a lot of support here. Now, this is because, see, we teachers are trained to do what we are doing. And our training has taken some time. See, pre-service training, there is in-service training. Now, in our pre-service training, we have not included online teaching. So perhaps that is a paradigm shift. We will have to train students for online learning. And also, please mute that Kriti. Okay. So we see that a lot of training needs to be done if we want to move from our physical classroom to a virtual classroom. Of course, all of us have been handling some sort of a virtual classroom as of now, but we still haven't perfected that art as we have been doing with our physical classrooms. So with this calls for a certain number of skills. So these are the skills that we are looking into now. So there'll be personal skills, there'll be interactive skills, there'll be technology related skills that we need. Well, these skills mean that we need to integrate them with some of the previous skills that we have already acquired. So as teachers, we do have a lot of skills. Now, what is needed is the new skills need to be integrated with this skill. That is, the e-skills need to be developed. Now, so far, I have been talking about the paradigm shift in the teaching and learning. But one very important issue that comes to us is also about the assessment or evaluation. In fact, when the lockdown happened, that was the most debated issue because all of us were wondering how will we do the evaluation, how will we conduct the examinations. And we know that again, examination is not something that we can do overnight. It requires another 3 months of preparation. So if we were to move from a physical type of examination to a virtual type of examination, that is definitely going to take time and technology, and also it has to also reorient both the teachers as well as the students. Now this is also another area that we will be looking at. What is a kind of evaluation skills that would be needed over there? And now the next slide which I showed was Mentimeter. This I just wanted to bring to your attention. I feel you all can use this. So I was asking about classroom interaction. Now Mentimeter is something that can be done while you are teaching in the class. Now while we are teaching in the class, we ask questions and students give answers. At the most, we take 10 answers in a class of 50. But technology enables us to take all the 50 answers and even multiple answers. That is what this Mentimeter is about. In fact, the slides which I showed you before, the clouds with the words, that really did not, that was not created by me. That was generated by that application Mentimeter, where students gave the response and immediately the answer was presented on the cloud. Now, this is this is one of the ways, this is one of the most simplest ways, I must say, of interacting with the students live in the classroom itself. Okay, finally coming to the assessment. Now, this is a big issue. As teachers, of course, we can assess our students, but assessment that is more formal in nature, that will have many sides to it. But as teachers, again, assessment can be done in very interesting ways. Again, our professors are going to show you some of the simplest and easiest way of adapting to the changes that we are facing. Some of the simplest, forms of application that can be used in the class. Some of the simplest assessment techniques that can be used. That is what we will be discussing in the class today. And so these online challenges are nothing but opportunities for us. These are opportunities to actually enhance our own knowledge, our own techniques, and also improve our teaching and improve the lives of our students. In fact, if it is done in a very good way, we can make our teaching and learning much more inclusive. We can ensure that larger number of students can acquire quality education, considering the fact that there is a digital divide which needs to be ironed out. If the digital divide is removed, then there's definitely more access to learning and teaching. Now, I was reminded of this advertisement. This, this had come some long time back. This shows the principal of that of a school. He was unable to admit all the children, but then finally he found a solution with the help of a mobile. Well, in those days, this was a great idea, or this was something out of the box. But this idea is $1 million idea today. You can endlessly reach all the students through the technology that is available to us. And we as teachers, let us take on this challenge to use technology to the maximum to ensure that every child has a right access to learning and every child learns joyfully. Thank you, friends, for your patient listening. And sorry about this few glitches over there. And now I would request my colleague, Dr. Shahraz PV, to continue with some very interesting videos. She will help you to make your teaching and learning very effective. Over to Dr. Shahraz PV.
Shiraz?
Tahira Ansari, please mute your video.
A minute. वही एक्चुअली वो
Ma'am, if you are speaking, we are not able to listen to you, ma'am.
that I will do. First, let me do my video. Good morning, participants. Sarah Madam rightly said that COVID-19 pushed all of us into online teaching platform without much preparation. But we all accepted it as a reality. And what we all had done is we all decided to give full opportunities or full experience of technology supported learning to our students. Let us have a discussion on creative pedagogical practices that we can use for online teaching learning process. Dear participants, I am Dr. Sharaz, Assistant Professor of All India Khilafat Committee's College of Education. Schools are closed. Students are at home with lots of distractions. Now their parents are very busy and they are not able to supervise their kids the way they would like. Now in this situation, what they are going to do? Now the teachers are going to help these parents. Now what is the role of the teachers? They are going to become a crucial role in this particular place. Now they are going to have an important role. Now what is their role? How are you going to motivate your students and how are you going to engage your students in the online teaching session? That matters a lot. Now, when you start with your online teaching, what are the different tasks you are going to do? Dear participants, there are so many tasks you need to have. Now, what are that tasks? Now, what is the first task? First task is you are going to set up a smart online learning platform. Now, here I have used the terminology smart. That is because this particular learning platform is going to help you all in the whole designing of online teaching learning process. Now you are going to create e-courses, the courses that we wanted to do, and you are going to collaborate with your students. You are going to communicate with them. You are going to assess their performances and all. Now, all these tasks you can do in this particular platform. Friends, you all must be knowing about Google Classroom. You must have used also this Google Classroom. Now, you know that this Google Classroom is a very user-friendly learning management system. The wonderful feature of this Google Classroom is you can, have access to that Google Drive directly. It works side by side with your Google Drive. Then there are so many other learning management systems, like there are Edflare, Edmodo, and all. Now, all these platforms are very user friendly. Now, your task is you are going to, work out on this particular platform, and you have to decide on which particular platform you are going to have your online teaching learning process. Now, I already created one Google Classroom for you all. Its name is e-course transformation of learning and assessment. Now, this particular code I will share with you all in the WhatsApp group. Once I share this particular code, what you all can do is you can join this class as student and submit your assignments and all. Now, if ever you have any queries regarding this Google Classroom, regarding any topic that we are going to handle in this particular webinar, you can clarify at groups. Now, students, after setting up this learning platform, what is the next task you are going to do? The next task is you are going to integrate pedagogical practices and various digital tools. Now, you all must be aware of all these child-centered methodology. You all must have used also these all child-centered methodologies. Now, flipped classrooms, concept mapping, experiential learning, and all. Now, these all methodologies you all were using for your face-to-face interactions with your students. Now, when you are going to shift to online teaching, you are not going to use all these methodologies as such. You need to bring out some transformation in these methodologies. Now, how can you bring out transformation in these methodologies? That is by means of these digital tools. Now, there are so many digital tools. I listed only 4 digital tools. Now, what you have to do is you have to integrate these pedagogies with a suitable digital tools. And you need to transform all these methodologies into digital ones. Then we can say that these all methodologies are digital methodologies. So let us have a look into how can we use these digital methodologies in the online teaching platform. Flipped virtual classroom. I know that all of you are aware about flipped classroom. Flipped classroom means you are going to, distribute the learning experiences in such a way that some tasks students are going to do outside the classroom and some tasks you are going to or the students are going to do in the class. Now, when you are going to use this particular philosophy in the online teaching, we can call it as flipped virtual classroom. So in the flipped virtual classroom, what exactly you are going to do? Before your online teaching, you all are going to have some prior tasks. And what are prior tasks you can give to the students? Let us have a look into that with the help of this video. If you are going to teach world map in your online session, one day prior to this, provide students an interactive image or a scavenger hunt for collecting information about world map. You can plan out some incentives for those students who complete their tasks on time. After completing prior tasks, do the online discussion of the topic with your students in the synchronous platforms. So here you had seen that you can use various tasks. You can give various tasks to the students as home assignment. Now, friends, when you observe this particular image, you can see that this particular image is interactive image. Now, for making these types of interactive image, you can go to this website, thinglink.com, and you can log into that Thinglink by means of your Gmail account. Now, why did I say that this particular image is interactive or dynamic? Let us have a look into that. Hi students. In garden, you all must have played with merry-go-round, seesaw, and slides. Do you know these all are different types of symbol machines? Symbol machines are used. So participants, you must have noticed that in this image, I inserted or uploaded my audio. Now similarly, you can see there are so many animated links. Now when I click on this animated link, see what is opening. Here, a pop-up window appeared on my screen. Now on this screen, you can see that text I added, I inserted image and inserted YouTube videos and all. That means you can add lots of resource materials and reference materials into this particular image, into this single image. So this image is actually going to help students to reach into the next level of learning. So that's why we say that this image is interactive and dynamic. So try to make use of these types of images. I know that all the teachers are having a huge collection of charts, models and all. You must have made, your students also must have made and all. So what you can do is take the image or photograph of all these models and all, convert all these things into this interactive or dynamic images. Not only interactive images and you can plan out. You can plan out different types of activities. You know that our digital learners prefer variety. So try to ensure that variety. Whenever you are going to use some learning experiences and all, see that there should be variety and innovations in that. You can plan out even some games and all in this particular phase. You can give scavenger hunt to students. When you are going to have scavenger hunt, what you can ask is, you can tell students to collect some materials, some informations and all prior to your class. Ask them to come for the synchronous session. Now in that synchronous session, you see that what are the materials that the students have collected and all. Have a live session with them. So it will be very interesting as well as motivating for the students. So this is, one methodology, flipped virtual classroom that you can use in the online teaching sessions. Now let us have a look into another methodology. Now this is the another methodology that you can adapt with the online teaching platform. You can make it digitalized. And Friends, you all know that experiential learning is not that new for you all. But you cannot neglect this experiential learning in the online platform. You know that what is the importance of it. Contextualization of learning is very important. Actually going to help your students into, reach into the higher levels of learning. We can say that they can reach into the creative level if ever you are going to use this experiential learning practices. So let us see how you are going to use this experiential learning in the online platform. Or please watch this video. Will be giving you an idea of what are the different phases of this experiential learning and all.
In the first phase of experiential learning, you can ask students to collect information about organic farming. In the second phase, let students share their collected information with their peers. After sharing, ask students to process and analyze the information that they have gathered from their peers. In the next phase, ask each student to make a generalization regarding organic farming. In the last phase, you can evaluate the knowledge generation of students by conducting an online quiz.
So here, participants, you have seen that what are the different phases of experiential learning. Now, in the first phase, you are going to provide direct experiences to students. Now, what type of direct experiences you can give to your students? You can ask students to observe seed germination. You can ask students to watch some video. Even you can ask students to, you can take your students for a virtual tour. That will be very interesting for them. You can make use of some discovery videos and all for that particular purpose. So the very purpose of these types of activity is you are going to help your students to come out with some findings or some hypothesis and with some observations and all. Once they are ready with these observations and findings and all, what you all have to do is you have to tell your students to share these all findings with their peers. So with the help of this, interaction, you are going to increase peer collaboration. Now you can set up any platform for this particular purpose. Now in that particular platform, the students are going to share all their ideas and findings. Now once this is done, give sufficient time for students to process the information. This time gap you need to do. Otherwise, it is very difficult for the students to assimilate all the information what they have gathered from their direct experiences as well as from their friends and all. So for processing, what you can do is you can use some focus questions. Now, for example, in this particular case, you can use some focus questions like how does seed germinate? And what are different factors that are helping for seed germination. Now, when you're giving these types of focus questions, actually, it is going to help students to, organize all the information that they have gathered from their friends as well as from their direct experiences and all. Now, actually, this particular phase, if we are doing in a very planned manner, students will be able to reach into generalization very nicely. They will be able to come to a generalization regarding growth of the seeds, the germination of the seeds, as well as growth of the plants. Now, once this is done, in the last phase, what you can do is, you can plan out some assessment practices. Now, you have to ensure that all these knowledge generations, all these, knowledge creations and all, whether that has happened properly or not, whether my students are able to apply these sort of things in their real life situation or not, these are things you need to assess. Now, for that particular purpose, you can take help of Google Form, Google Quiz, Testimonials. There are so many digital tools. Now, anyway, we are going to have a separate session for this particular, creation of test and all tomorrow. And that time we will see how can we create online assessments. Now, friends, this is one of the methodology, the another methodology that we can use in the online teaching platform. Now let us have a look into another interactive methodology that is going to engage students, especially in the higher classes and all. You can use methodology. Let's have a look into that.
How can you ensure meaningful verbal learning in your online classes? How can you help your students for organizing and representing concepts in a deductive manner? The graphical tool Concept Map may better answer these questions. For making concept map, you can make use of MindMaster app. You can use this app for doing brainstorming and slideshow presentations. Students can make their assignments also in this app.
So friends, you had seen that this particular methodology that we can use in the higher classes is concept map. All of you are aware about this concept map. But when you are going to apply this particular tool in the online teaching, you are going to take help of digital tools like MindMeister and MindMaster. You know that concept map is a visual thinking tool and it is going to make your verbal learning meaningful. Now let us have a look into how are this concept map made in MindMeister or MindMaster. Now I already created one concept map. I will show that. For create concept map, you can go to mindmeister.com and you can log in by using your Gmail account. Now see, this is the concept map I made for types of livers. Now in this particular concept map, you can see that I inserted a video. Like this, you can insert images, you can insert text and all. Now after, if you are going to use this particular tool as a teaching tool or as a presentation tool and all, what you have to do is you are going to put up some focus questions over here. You make a layout first and put up some focus questions. Now see here, here I had written what is liver. And the second focus question is what are the different types of liver? Now, these types of questions are actually going to help students to fill up all these blank areas. Now, once the students are, ready with these all, answers, you can ask students to discuss or share all their concept maps and all in the various groups, whatever groups you are going to allow to them, WhatsApp group or any other online platform. Now, one thing that you need to take care is when you are sharing these types of concept map with the students, in the sharing setting, there is one option. You have to see that always you try to share all these concepts in the editable form if ever you want your students to work on it. Otherwise, they will not be able to work on this particular concept map. So participants, this is a very nice tool that you can use in the higher classes, especially in the 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th, where you need to give lots of verbal instructions and all. For making these verbal instructions more meaningful to them, students work on this concept map. And especially when you are asking your digital learners to work on the digital tools, that will be very interesting for them. They will come up with a very colorful, organized concept maps and all. So you all don't worry about the digital learners. They are very friendly with these digital tools. Only we teachers, I feel, we have really a challenge in front of us when we are using all these digital tools. So hope the session is clear to all of you. We have discussed only 3 methodologies over here. Friends, there are so many other methodologies. What you all have to do is explore more about these all pedagogies, digital pedagogy that you can use in the online platform. Now, when you are, trying to use these digital pedagogies, then only you ensure that digital learners are completely engaged or they are participating in your online class interestingly. To conclude, I would like to say that online teaching will definitely help you all to take your teaching learning process into the highest levels. But don't forget to establish personal connections with your students. Ultimately, what matters is not just your content mastery, your pedagogical practices, technological expertise, and all. What matters is your passion towards work and love towards kids. That will definitely work That is actually missing in the online teaching platform and all. Try to, develop their emotional intelligence also. Work on that. So, friends, my session is going to complete over here. I hand over my session to Dr. Niaz Ahmed, and he's going to have a session on how to create animated e-content. Thank you. Session hand over to Niaz.
Okay. So, good afternoon, and am I audible? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
You are
sir.
audible.
Okay, so we are going to start that session on animated e-content. That how a simple PowerPoint can be used to create an animated e-content. So we are using frequently this PowerPoint, but for this online teaching, we have to use this as an interactive one. So let us see how this PowerPoint can be used to make content animated. So we are going to start this PowerPoint here. Okay, before that, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to show some examples which is created by me. Okay, so let us see some examples here. So this is a story created on PowerPoint and then change into video. So it is a story of hare and tortoise where there is a conversation between these two, that who is fast and who is slow, who is lazy, and for proving that they've decided that they should have a race for that. Okay. So here there is a dialogues coming one after other. You can just add your voice also. So they have decided the starting point and the finishing point, and they have started the race. And we can see here that tortoise is far behind than the rabbit. So number of e-content have developed on this, and you can find out on YouTube, but you can also create this on PowerPoint. So here rabbit decides that he should take some rest because tortoise is far behind and he can easily win the race because he's very fast. And during that time he fell asleep. And here the tortoise reaches to the final point, finishing point. So here you can make stories on this PowerPoint and then create change that into video. So second example, let us see here. We can see the second example here. So generally to teach water cycle, what generally we do, we take the picture from the internet and show the students. But if you're talking about this online teaching, so students, we cannot just collect the pictures from the internet and show, we have to make that interactive. So let us see how I try to make this picture interactive one here in the second. You can see here the sun is glowing and you can see the rain is happening here. The water vapors are forming and changing into clouds and the clouds are moving. Okay, so this a simple picture, you can change that into interactive one. We will see that how to make this later on, but here we have to see the examples here and just observe minutely. Okay, let us see the third example. To teach electric circuit in the class, what generally we do, we draw a picture on the blackboard, or we take a picture from the internet and show to the students. But with the help of this PowerPoint, we can make this interactive. Just see here. You can see here, I have made this. I have just made a bulb here from the PowerPoint only. I have taken the picture of this fan, the cell, and I have made here an on and off button. Observe here what I'm doing. I am just clicking here on. What happens here? The fan is moving, the bulb is glowing, and electrons are moving, which shows that the circuit is complete and current is passing through the wires. Okay. What happens if I click off here? So all thing goes off. Okay. There is no current. That is why the wire is green. Okay. So here, these are some examples of e-content which can be easily created on PowerPoint. So let us demonstrate one example here to be familiarized with. So let us see one example here. So for that, I have to open this PowerPoint. Okay. So there are a number of templates are there in PowerPoint, but I need this blank template. I'm choosing this blank template. Number of layouts you can also find. But what I have to do here, I'm selecting this blank template here. And why I'm selecting this blank template? Because I have to work on picture. Okay, now I need a picture of water cycle. Okay, so I will go to Google. So for everything, generally we go to Google. So to search the picture of or image of water cycle, we'll go to Google. Okay, so Google, I'm going to type here image of water cycle. Okay, I'm going to type here image, or I can type here water cycle image, and here you can find out empty number of images on water cycle. Okay, Google will display many more numbers of water cycle images. What you have to do, you have to select the simple one which you can easily demonstrate to the students. Okay, so what I'm doing here for this demonstration purpose, I'm going to take the same example which I've shown you.
यहाँ सर दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है,
हाँ?
बिल्कुल दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है, आपका शेयर नहीं हो रहा है वीडियो।
नहीं, बट हियर लाइव बता रहा शेयरिंग,
नहीं दिख रहा है।
इसमें आ रहा है, यूट्यूब पे तो आ रहा है। जस्ट वेट। हेलो, अच्छा अच्छा ठीक है, ओके ओके। Okay, now it is visible. Yes, अभी दिखाई दे रहा है?
सर दिख रहा है।
Okay, so what I'm telling here, I will go to this Google and search some picture on water cycle. Okay, so for the demonstration purpose, what I'm going to do here, I will take the same example which I have shown in the I will take the same picture which I have shown in the example. Okay, so I'm going to insert the picture and please mute your mic. So the picture is saved in a folder that is on desktop. I've saved the picture on desktop, and in the folder it is AIKC. In that, this is a picture. I'm going to insert this picture here. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to just reduce the size of the pane of this slide. Now what I have to do, I have to fit this picture within this frame. So I have to fit this picture on this frame. Okay. Now I have to make this picture animated one. So what I have to do, I have to just hide these things because I don't want this thing. I want to add something else. So I want to add this to add hide these things, I have to do some patchwork here. So I will go to insert, select shapes. In shapes, I'm going to select rectangle here. And I'm going to do some patchwork here. I have to rotate this a little bit. I need some more patchwork. Again, I'm going to go to insert, go to shapes. I'm going to select this rectangle. I'm going to select some more patchwork here. I don't want this arrow also. So I'm again going to insert, going to shapes, again going to select this. Okay. So I have done here the patchwork. But what is the difference here? You can see here the background color is different and the patchwork color is different. I don't want this. I want that this patchwork color to be same with the background color. So what I'm going to do here? Okay. Please mute your mic. Participants. Okay. I'm going to just select this picture, then click shift, going to select this second picture, going to select the third image, third shape, and go to format. And there is an option that is called shape fill. I'm going to there. And then there is a very wonderful option that is called eyedropper. Okay. So click here, then it will change with the background color. Okay. Although it is, please mute your mic. Munazza, please mute your mic. Okay, now what happens here, although the color is changed, but you can see the boundaries here. I don't want the boundary also. So what I will do here, I will go to format. Please mute your mic. Then go to shape outline, and there I am going to select no outline. Okay, so you can see here I have done the patchwork here. But what happens if I move this? So you can see the hidden part again shown to us. So what I have to do here, I have to fix this patchwork. Okay, who is doing this annotation? Please remove the annotation. So I have to just select these pictures together with the help of shift. Okay, and then again I have to select the main frame also, because I have to fit these pictures with the main frame. Go to format, and then there is the option of group. I'm going to make them as one group. Now you move, then these shapes are attached with that. The second option you can do here, you can just click right. Then there is also an option that is called group. You can make them group from here also. Okay. Now I want to give the animation to this sun also. Okay. I want the animation to this sun also. So what I'm going to do here, I am going to make a copy of this picture and paste here. So you can find here, I have two pictures with me. Okay. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to just crop, because I only need sun from this picture. So I'm just going to crop this picture. Okay. So I got here sun. What I have to do, I have to just exactly fit this sun above the original. Okay. So this is done. Okay. Now I have to do some shapes here, because I have to show the water vapors are coming out. Again, I'm going to go to insert, select some shapes here. I'm going to select this curve line here. Okay, curve line. I want to make this line thick. Then again, I will go to format. Then go to this shape outline. And here, there's an option that is called weight. I'm going to just increase the thickness of the line. So this is okay. Now I want more lines from this. So one option you can do is you can just copy paste again and again. This is a tedious job. Second option you can do here, you can just press control. You can see here below the cursor, there is a rectangle shapes appear. That means you can copy by dragging. So you can drag here as many lines as you want. You can create from here. So I have created these much lines. Now each lines are different. So if I take these lines on the picture, I have to give animation to each and every line. I don't want that. I want that these lines should behave in a group. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to press and drag the cursor above these lines. These lines are selected now. I will go to format, select the group and make them as a one group. Okay. So these lines will behave in a one group. I will take that lines and fix above this water. Now I need cloud here because these water vapors changes into cloud. Then again I will go to insert, go to shapes, and there are basic shapes in this that is called cloud. So I will select that and just make a cloud here. Now you can see here the cloud color is dark. So I want this cloud to be lighter in color. Then again I will go to format, go to shape fill, and I will make this color a lighter one. Okay. So you can see here, I am frequently using this insert and in the insert shape. So these are the two things frequently used in this presentation. Now again, I want to show rain here. So I will go to insert, then I will go to shapes. I will go and select the line from here. Okay. And this line should look like rain. So what I will do, I will go to format. After selecting the line, go to shape outline, and then there is an option that is called dashes. I will go there and select dashes. So it looks like it is raining. Then this is a very thin line. I want this line to be thick. Again, I will go to shape outline and go to weight and make the line more thick. This is okay. Now I want more lines. So again, I'm going to do the same process. Press Control, then drag these lines. As many lines as you want, you can drag from here. Okay. Now I want these lines to behave as a single group, so I'm going to just drag the cursor above them. Then they all are selected. Then I will go to format and make them as a group. So I have make them as a group. Now I will take these lines below and this looks like it is raining. Okay. Now I have to give animation to them. Okay. So I will give animation to them here. So what I will do here, I will just select this one. Okay. Go to animation here. First, I'm going to select here the animation pane here so that I can modify the animation here. I can change the effect of animation. Then I'm going to add animation. So in the index only there is very good animation for this, and that is called wipe. So you can see here how the vapors are going up, but it is very fast. So what I have to do, I have to change the effect here. So I will go to the down arrow here. Then here you can see here that it is start on click. If you click, then only this animation will happen. I don't want that. I want that they should start with previous. They should start with the slide. Okay. The second thing I'm going to change here, I'm going to change the timing here. Okay. So timing, it is very fast. I'm going to make it very slow. Then repeat. I want it that it should repeat until the end of the slide. Okay. So these two things I have changed here. Now see, the speed is okay, and it looks like there's a formation of cloud with the help of this evaporation. Now I want to give the effect of this rain also. Again, I will go to animation, and there is a add animation. In that add animation, again I'm going to select this vibe. You can explore more also, but this vibe is good for this. Then it is very fast. I'm going to change the setting of this setting. It should start with previous. Now I'm going to change the timing. But before timing, what I'm going to change here, I'm going to change the effect. It is going from bottom to top. I want to change this direction. It should from top to bottom. Okay. Then after that, I'm going to change the duration also. It is very fast. I'm going to make it very slow. Then repeat time, it should repeat until the end of the slide, because I want this animation should end when it will change. Okay, so now here this good, this is good. You can see here this give the effect of raining. The third thing is I want to give the effect on this sun. So this sun, I'm going to just do the animation here. Go and add animation. I have to give the emphasis on this sun. So it should look like that it is glowing. There's a very good option here in emphasis ether, where it looks like it is glowing. Okay. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to just change the setting, start with previous. Then I'm going to change the timing also. Timing is not okay, but I'm going to change the repeat time. So until the end of the slide. So now these three things we have done here. Now next thing what I'm going to do here, I'm going to make a cloud here which is moving. Okay, so I will go to insert, go to shapes and select the cloud from basic shapes, and I will draw a cloud here by dragging this. I will change the color by going in the format, then shape fill, and then make it lighter. Okay, now I'm going to give the animation to this cloud. Okay, I want to give the motion to this cloud. So what I will do, I will go to animation part here and add animation. For motion, just you have to scroll this, and there is a option that is called motion path. In that you have to select line motion. Okay, so I've selected this line motion here. So by default this line motion is downward direction. What I have to do, I have to drag this to horizontal direction here. Okay, in a straight line. Now I have to give the animation to this. Okay, the cloud, I want to give the animation. So animation is already done. I have done the path motion animation, but I have to change the setting here. So setting, it should start with previous. Timing, it is very fast, because 2 seconds is very fast. I'm going to change this as 20 seconds. Okay, and then repeat time, at least it should repeat 4 to 5 times. Okay, so you can see here. So speed is good. Okay, now I have to add the process which we have deleted or hide. We have hidden that. So insert, I'm going to insert. Then here I'm going to select the test box here, and I have to write the process here. Which process is this? So this is the precipitation process. Okay, so I have to increase the size of this, and I have to make this bold. Okay, then again I'm going to go to insert, add text, and have this. This is evaporation. Evaporation. Okay, just increase the font size and make it bold. Okay, so I've written this process also. Now I have to show the, I have to give the whole process name also. So I will go to insert, go to test box, and here give the process name water cycle. Okay, now I have to increase the size of this water cycle font. And change the style also of this. Okay, change the color of this font, and I can give the animation to this. Okay, I can add the animation. You can select any animation. So let us see this selecting by this random bar. I have to change the setting from here, this test box. This should start with previous, then timing. Timing is okay, but I will make it repeat until the end of the slide. Okay. Now what I have to do here, I have to show the arrows here. Okay. To show the process, how the process is happening, in which direction. I'm going to shapes, from going to insert, and then I'm going to select the arrows. I'm going to change the color of this arrow to shape fill. I change the color. Then now I have to give the appropriate direction to this. Okay. So I will go to format. Then here there is the option that is called rotate. I will rotate and see what is the actual direction of this. So this is the actual direction. So I will show this direction here properly. Okay. Now again I'm going to copy this and paste. I will change the direction of this by going in the format, rotate. This is correct. Now one more arrow I need here. I will go to shapes. Because this is a cyclic process. So here we have done the animation part. Okay, let us see how it's look. So here the sun is glowing, then the rain is happening here, and the cloud is moving. So here we can change a simple picture into animated one by using simple PowerPoint. Okay. Now let us see the other example. Okay, let us see how this happens here. Okay, so how this we have made, just I'm going to explain this because we are running out of time here. So here just I'm going to explain how this we can make. So first what you have to do, you have to draw from the shapes only a rectangle. Okay, then you have to create these two buttons from there. So you can create from insert the shapes, you can select and make two button by giving the emphasis on this buttons. You can select the shapes. Okay, then yeah, from the shapes only you can make this two.
सर फिर से दिखाई नहीं दे रहा, सॉरी फिर से दिखाई नहीं दे रहा,
फिर से नहीं दिखाई दे रहा है. Okay. अभी अभी आया नहीं?
नहीं आया, नहीं आया.
Okay. Okay, so this is the example we were discussing. Okay, how to make this one. Okay, so what we can do here, first we are going to draw a rectangle or select a rectangle from the shapes. Then we are going to create two buttons here from the shapes, and then we can make a hello.
नियाज सर ये पीपीटी वहीं पर स्टॉप है जहाँ पर लास्ट टाइम हुआ था, इसको क्लोज करके वापस स्टार्ट कीजिए.
वापस स्टार्ट किया मैंने अभी अभी वो दिख रहा है बोले वो.
ओके
For us, it is good.
अभी दिख रहा है, थैंक यू.
We can see, sir.
Okay, now listen here. So we can just go to insert and select the shape of rectangle. Then we can draw this rectangle and make it thick from going to format. This have here what we have done the last time. Going to the outline and we can make this thick. Okay, then we can draw this cell also by taking two pictures here and we can make this as a group. And for the group, I told you how to make this group. This bulb also can be drawn with the help of this insert and the shapes also. For this fan, what you have to do, you have to just go to Google and you have to select the GIF fans. So there are a number of GIF fans are there. So you have to select one and save. And then you have to make the screenshot of that. So you have two pictures now with you. One is image and second one is GIF. So you have to fix the image part here, image one here. Okay, so what you have to do now, you have to make a duplicate of this slide. You have to make just duplicate of this slide. You have to make duplicate of slide. So you have two slides here. You can see my right hand, there are two slides are there with a similar nature. In the second slide, what I have changed here, I have changed the color of this. Okay, and I have added the color to this by selecting the shapes from there. Okay, and then I have given the animation here, blue. I have given the animation here, and in the second picture, the second slide, what I have done here, I have just removed the image and put here the GIF fan. Okay, Now for electrons here, I have just put 4 electrons here and given them the line motion. That is, there is an option that is called, if you go to animation here, and there is the option, if you select here, that is called circular animation. For example, if I'm selecting here, if you go to animation, then motion path, you can select this circular motion, this turn path. Then you can select and make that, okay? So I have selected this circular path here. Then what you have to do here, GIF picture you have set here. Now I have changed the color of that as a red. Now I have made the hyperlink to these buttons with the slides. For example, the first slide, I have made the hyperlink of this on button with the second slide. Okay. So if I click here, for example, if you go to the full screen, and if I click here, it will go to the next slide. And in the next slide, I have made the animations there. And if I click off, so this is hyperlink with the first slide. So if I click here off, so it goes to the first slide. Okay. So these things you can use in simple PowerPoint to make your content more interactive one, more animated one, so that the students can take interest in your online teaching. Okay. Now, this is how a simple, you have to explore more on this PowerPoint. There are many more functions are there. This is the basic 3 examples I have taken here, but only this basic office software. There are many more functions in PowerPoint you can explore. So assignment for today, for this for day 1, that you have to create a 5-minute presentation on any topic of your subject or any subject, and you have to just save, and we will provide you the Google form where you have to just paste a link, and then also you'll be provided the class code of this class code where you have to just go to and register yourself, and you have to submit your assignment there. Okay. Now, so here I will end my presentation, and I am very thankful to my principal, my college, to giving me this opportunity to interact with you all and present you a simple concept how to make an e-content on PowerPoint, and interactive one. So let us see what is the tomorrow's program. So session will start at 11 a.m. sharp, and the first session is skills for digital teachers, and that will be taken by Dr. Nasreen Sheikh. That is from 11 to 11:20. Then second session will start at 11:20. That is dealing with digital learners, and that will be taken by Rizwana Sheikh. And the session start at 11:20, and it will go up to 11:40. Then third session, that is very interactive one, that is development of online assessment tool, and that will be taken by Dr. Nafisa Sheikh, and it will start from 11:40, and it will go up to 12:30. So thank you.